Welcome to Awake to Oneness Radio. I am Caroline Chang, your host. The mission of Awake to Oneness Radio is to inspire the world to awaken to the universal truth of oneness. Science is now teaching us that all life is energy. Everything is energy. And that energy is interconnected and interdependent. In essence, that energy is one thing. Now, quantum physics has been teaching the truth of oneness for over 100 years. So this isn't even new science. This science is, we should all know by now. Now, spirituality and ancient wisdom has been teaching the truth of oneness for eons, and science is now catching up. So humanity is going through a shift right now. It's going through an awakening, and a big part of that awakening is understanding the truth of oneness, that we are all one and that we are all connected. And what you do to another person, you're literally doing to another aspect of yourself. And when humanity has awakened to that universal truth of oneness, there will be peace on earth. Today's show topic is 3D to 5D consciousness with Nyla Nguyen. Welcome, Nyla, to Awake to Oneness Radio. Thank you so much for being my guest. Please, I found you on YouTube. My listeners know I just live on YouTube. And because of the title of your show, 3D to 5D consciousness, I found you. And so can you please share your journey with our listeners?
Hi there, Caroline. I'm very honored and happy to be on your show. Thank you for inviting me to come.
Can you speak up, just up a little bit? Yes.
Yes, sure.
Okay, that's better. Yes. Okay.
My name is Nyla Nguyen. I'm very honored and happy to be on your show. I'm very grateful that you invited me to share my knowledge and share my spiritual and galactic teachings to your audience.
Thank you. Thank you. So please share with us how all of this started with you.
My YouTube channel or my
No, your awakening.
my
Your journey.
Well, my awakening has happened for quite a long time. It's just different levels of awakeness. So if I were to chart it, I would say I was starting to wake up in my early 20s.
Okay.
I'm out in my mid 30s.
Okay.
So I've been on this journey for a while, but the full awakeness of who I really am, being a twin flame, understanding that I am God, God and me is one.
Yes.
You know, the twin flame journey, I've been awake for like 5 years.
Okay.
Knowing that I am God and God and I are one, that's happened probably around the same time as well too. So there's different levels of awakeness, you know what I mean? So
I do. Yeah, yes.
Yeah. For me, it's almost at full consciousness now. Almost at full consciousness.
Yes. Very good. And I feel the same way. And again, my journey was, like you said, in steps. It started actually for me, I would say, when I was a very young child, but in little, in baby steps. Yes.
Baby steps. Yeah. When I was like 8, you start already asking questions about the universe and money and God, and you start asking all these questions, and then you get answers being given to you, and then because I came from a really unawakened state, which is coming from a family that's Buddhist. So I was raised in an atheist household, so there is no God. You're raised with no God, so
right.
I'm the only one in the family that believes in God. So my whole family, my brother and sister, they don't believe in God. So
right.
So going from a very deep state of being asleep to becoming fully awakened. So
exactly. And the wonderful thing is, kind of like I said at the beginning of the show, we are really in the midst. Right now in 2020, we are in the midst of humanity's mass awakening. And I realized that at the end of March. I knew 2020 was going to be the year. I didn't know when. But, when March hit and towards the end I'm like, oh my God, I've been in a state of bliss since the end of March, just knowing I'm fully awake. And I see everything that's going on in the 3D realm. I'm looking at it from 5D. because 5D is already here and it's a state of being. So I am already grounded in 5D and I'm looking at everything that's going, I know everything that's going on in 3D, and I'm sending love and light, and I'm inviting the world to come up to 5D, because I'm not going back. I'm not going down to 3D to get them. I'm staying up here in 5D, and I'm inviting the world. Come on, the air is really nice up here. It's nice up here. Come up here with me, you know. And I'm sending them love and light for all the people that are playing in that 3D playground right now. I'm sending love, light, and healing, and inviting them to come up to 5D. So share more about how you got the YouTube channel started and everything.
Well, my story began last year, I believe around April. It was when I launched the channel. Well, the story is that I was in my kitchen, I was just doing cleaning, and then I had the higher self come in and just give me that little nudge, that inner calling, saying that you're going to start a YouTube channel, 3D to 5D consciousness.
Beautiful. Love the title.
Exactly. And at that time, I did not know what those terminology mean. I'm like, okay, I'll create that channel, but I don't even know what that means. But let me just go out and go start investigating and start doing my research. So that's more of awakening in that understanding these vocabularies, these terminology. So that's why you see me owning that channel, that brand, because really I'm really the one that's kind of making it more mainstream, because now people are now just Googling up 3D and 5D consciousness. It's because of the channel.
Exactly.
I'm the one that owns the domain,
Yes,
3D
yes.
5D consciousness, because I'm really literally making this knowledge more mainstream, so that way people are looking this up and Googling it and find out what the heck is she talking about when she's saying 3D, 4D, 5D, you know?
Yes, exactly.
And I'm sharing the knowledge from a galactic understanding as well too, because people have different perspective, different way of understanding it, but I like to learn from a galactic teachers and understand things from a galactic perspective. So that's what my channel is about, is sharing you, let's say, the same topics, but I'm sharing from a galactic perspective.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. It was my higher self that told me directly in 2001. This is before I was awake. In 2001, September, shortly after 9/11, my higher self directly told me. I was making up my bed and the news was on, the television. I wasn't really watching it, but the news was on. And my higher self yelled at me. My higher self said, turn off that news and don't ever turn it back on again. And I didn't know why. I even said, well, why? No answer. Didn't get an answer. But I walked over to the television set. I turned off the television, turned off the news, and I have not watched mainstream news in 19 years. And I'm extremely proud of that fact. I know exactly what's going on in the world, but you can know what's going on in the world without watching mainstream news. And it wasn't until 12 years later I realized why. Because the mainstream news is paid to keep us at a low vibration and not tell us the truth. So well, I was very happy that I turned off the news.
But now that you brought up that point of having the news in the background, you're not paying attention to it. That's a very good point to bring up, because I see too many people having TV in the background, music in the background, and they're like, oh, yada, 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 yeah, oh, yeah, I don't pay attention to it. Oh, I don't give it any attention. I'm like, no, my dear, it's all going to your subconscious. Everything is being picked up by your subconscious. You're doing yourself a great deal of disservice. You have no idea how harmful that is for you to actually have that turn on. People don't understand that it is a weapon. The frequency that's being emitted from those broadcasts is a weapon. And just because you think you're not giving it your alert attention does not mean that it's not going into your subconscious and actually programming your belief system.
Exactly.
And I don't like it when I even, I have awake friends, and I go visit them and I hear music in the background all day long, or things. It's like, and it's Illuminati music.
Yes.
I'm like, come on, you should know better than this. You should really know better than this. Like, if you're having this Illuminati music in the background, you're inviting them into your household, you're inviting them into whatever. It's like, It's okay to have it, let's say 15 minutes. If you want to have some music, 20 minutes. But people have it on for all day long. And
Yes,
it's not healthy.
it's not
It's
healthy at all.
it is so much programming. You have no idea how much programming it is. And the other thing is, I live in my reality, in my house, in peace. There's absolutely no noise. It's very, very quiet here. And I like it like that. Why? Because it's a lot easier for me to tune into my higher self. It's a lot easier to pick up messages from my higher self. I can be doing the dishes. I can be, whatever I'm doing, folding laundries, whatever the household doing. It's so much easier to listen to your higher self when there's silence, not some distraction in the background like your television or your radio, whatever in the background. So you got to have a certain amount of peace so you can tap into your higher self and let the higher self connect with you, allow that connection to go through. But then you should also allow a certain amount of time for you to also acquire, let's say, spiritual knowledge, personal develop knowledge, so that way you can expand and become the next version of yourself. But I think having mindless music or mindless television program, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're harming and lowering your vibration. That's it.
You're
And that needs to go to your honest, because I see people who claim to be awake and then you visit their household and they got like things on the TV and things. I'm like, you're lowering your vibe. You're allowing the Illuminati come to your house and invite them in. Come on.
yeah. Well, exactly.
Or the worst, they pay money to go see a movie so they can be brainwashed.
Which is yes,
That
yes,
is
yes,
the
yes.
worst. That you
That-
consider yourself awakened and you actually taking money out of your pocket, going to the movies and giving your money to the Illuminati, Hollywood, to go watch and be brainwashed. That's the worst. And they say consider themselves awakened.
Yes, I agree with you 1,000%, sweetie. Because like I said, everything is energy. That is the basis of reality. Everything is energy. Everything is vibration. Everything is frequency. So when I shut off the news, I was being obedient to my higher self, but I didn't know that until 12 years later. That all that, and so that frequency. So now what I do, what I have going on 24/7 when I'm not being quiet, because I go out in nature. I live in the country. I go out in nature and I quiet my mind and meditate in nature. But when I'm home, I have high vibration frequency going on all day long. Sometimes even through the night. I find 1111 hertz. I find 963 hertz. I like the real high vibration frequencies that will help me connect to higher self. But it is all about frequency. It is that programming. That's why it's called programming. It is literally programming your mind. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes. And I stopped after I realized that. I stopped watching. I never was into horror flicks. Like never. But I stopped watching anything that lowered my frequency. I only watch comedy. I only watch things that make me laugh. I like romance. I watch a little love and romance comedy. But I stopped watching I pay attention to my frequency. If I'm watching something and I feel when my frequency is being lowered, I shut it off immediately. Even I had some shows that I was watching recently, and this happened before March. This happened in January and February. I was watching some shows that I used to really like to just watch for the drama, and then I felt my frequency. I shut it off. And I called some of my friends because we watch it and we talk about these shows all the time, and I'm like, I can't watch it anymore. I just can't. It is lowering my frequency. No, I can't. I used to watch it for the drama and the music, but the drama is getting too low vibration. And that was like in January of this year. I remember that happening. And I even called my friend. I'm like, can't watch that show anymore. I'm sorry. I'm done with that show. But yeah, no, it's so true. We have to pay attention to what is subconsciously and consciously entering our brain. Yes, so true. Yes, yes, yes. So galactically, now, I know what I wanted to share with you. I don't watch news and haven't watched news in 19 years. I get all of my news from the Arcturians the Pleiadians, archangels, Jesus. I get all of my news from channeled information, all of it. I listen to, oh, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20 different channels on weekly. So when I say channels, I mean people that are channeling message from above, from off planet. Yes. So yes, so I'm very much in alignment with the galactic message from our galactic brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I get a lot of my information just doing research. Channeling, I haven't found any sources that I like that I would say it's credible. Maybe you can share your sources, but
Okay, sure.
the ones that people share to me, I'm like, no, that's not authentic. No, that's not authentic. So
Exactly.
I have my own way of discerning, So
From your heart and your soul.
yeah.
That's, yeah, you're absolutely right. And I tell everybody that go with, I tell people don't listen to me. I'm just sharing what resonates as true for me. But I tell people go within, meditate, ask your heart and soul, not the mind. The mind can, because the mind is limited. The mind is only going by the five senses, five senses. Your heart and your soul is unlimited. And all the wisdom is right there within you. So any information you have to see, how does it feel in here in the heart? But yes, I will. Well, I'll share one with you right now. Daniel Scranton. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he channels daily short messages from the Arcturian. And it's interesting that you should say that, because someone just asked me last week when I told them I only listen to channel information for news. They said, well, how do you know that's accurate? I said, I can tell in my heart. It has to be in alignment with oneness. It has to be in alignment with unconditional love, unconditional non-judgment, unconditional acceptance, unconditional love for the humanity as a whole. If it's not in alignment, if it's talking about dividing and separating, that's the problem. To me, it's very simple. We have unity consciousness and we have separation consciousness. 3D realm is all about separation consciousness. 5D realm is all about unity, knowing that it's all God. We're all God. We're all, I love Rumi's quote, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. Each one of us is all of God, not a piece of God, but all of God in a drop. And so doesn't matter if you agree on politics, religion, none of that, culture, none of that matters. We're all God. We don't, and I can have a conversation and not agree, and I've done this many times. It's funny how many times I've done it. I can have a conversation with someone. My ex-fiance just called me yesterday, had a 2-hour conversation with him. We don't agree on anything, but we had a loving and respectful conversation. And I can do that. I can have a conversation with a KKK person, with someone that's what they call white supremacist. If Hitler was alive, I would have Hitler on my show. And as long as he's not trying to kill me, I'm like, let's have a conversation. Let me see where you get these ideas you have in your head. That's unity. That's true unity within diversity. It's not about agreement. It's about understanding that everybody is God creating their own reality, and you don't have to agree with them, but you can respect them and you can even love them even if you don't agree.
Yeah, agreement is just a matter of seeing things from the same level of consciousness.
Right.
But here is my question for you. How do you handle lower states of consciousness when they are not acting, let's say, respectfully, or not, the most important thing is respect. And if they're not acting respectfully towards you, how do you handle those lower states of consciousness?
Well, I don't engage if they're not respectful. So that's why I say my ex-fiance, who we don't agree on anything, and he called me yesterday, and I'm thinking, because here's the funny thing. He called, he's like, I decided not to have these conversations anymore. I'm thinking to myself, you just called me. But anyway, but I'm saying, because I don't see, we were able to have it in a joking way, even though he's sharing what he believes in a joking way. I'm sharing what I believe in a joking way. At the end of the day, he's not going to agree with what I believe. I'm not going to agree with what he believes, but we can still respect. So it isn't from a tone. The vibration is still high because he's respecting me, even though he doesn't agree with me. I'm respecting him, even though I don't agree with him. So if it drops to the point where somebody's yelling and shouting and cursing, no, I don't engage. I don't engage with those kind of conversations. The conversation has to remain on a high vibration, even if we don't agree. You get me?
Yeah, Canadians I find can do that. I find that they have certain values in the culture that even though there are people that have differences in perspective and beliefs, they can still actually have a conversation and be
Yes.
respectful to each other. And I have actually done that on a live broadcast where the host and I have a difference in perspective.
Yes.
And I just maintained my place, and I wasn't really being triggered because there was no disrespect that would trigger anything that dropped the vibration of the conversation. So I was able to just hold my space and just let him talk, let him
Yes.
say his perspective.
Exactly. And that's the key to world peace. Because there's 7 billion people on the planet. We're all not going to see, we all have unique perspectives, and we're supposed to. We're unique aspects of God. We're all looking at this world from our unique perspective, and it's supposed to be that way. And we're supposed to be able to share in love and respect. So it's not about agreement. And I call that unity within diversity. And that's the only way we're going to get to world peace. Because people make the mistake and think that oneness is sameness. It's not, it's the opposite. Oneness is love and respect, even though you're different.
Yeah, oneness is also about acceptance.
Yes.
It's about acceptance that's something that is different from you. It's about acceptance of diversity, not trying to make everything uniform. That will be the reptilian brain where they try to perceive the other as being inferior if you have a difference in perspective. This is why
Yes.
people with a 3D, 4D states of consciousness, if you do not agree with them, they will attack you, ridicule you, mock you because they perceive your opinion, your perspective is inferior. Whereas if you see things from a 5D perspective, even though you don't see eye to eye, you can respect and can accept.
Yes.
The thing with I also see with 3D and 4D states of consciousness is that they like to impose their point of view on others and perceive as being correct.
Exactly.
All perspective is correct. It's just a matter of how you see it, which angle you want to look at it. You know, what timeline do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the artificial timeline or on the organic timeline?
Right. Exactly. And I always say there is no right and wrong. It's just all perspective. And you're right. So there are people that want to beat you over the head with their perspective and insist that they're right. I say humanity suffers from a disease called I have to be right-itis. You know, it's not about being right. It's
Yeah,
about sharing in love and respect. That is key. Yes. And like I said, if a person cannot be respectful, I post my comments on Facebook. I've had people actually wish me dead because I'm posting I just delete those comments. I don't even respond to them. I'm like, you're wishing me dead. I don't think you don't need to be on my Facebook page. I just delete them and block them. You know, I don't engage. I don't engage. I don't argue and I don't debate. I share in love and respect. And I will listen. I will listen. So now you've said some things in this conversation that I know some people are probably questioning, might be questioning. You used the term Illuminati. I understand what you mean, and that people inviting that in with that program. If they're listening to mainstream news, the Illuminati, elitists, the draconian. I like to call them by their full name. I like to say the elitist, draconian, deep state cabal. I like just call them by their full name. But that is when you're listening to mainstream news, which they own and control, you are inviting them right into your living room. So let's get into it. Share.
What is it that you want to know? We already.
Well, I mean, share with our listeners what you mean, because you were saying that you go to a friend's house, they're awake, but they have this.
What I mean by what Illuminati into the living room? Well, you know who is behind Hollywood, who owns Hollywood? It's the Illuminati. It's the deep state. They're all interconnected with each other. The cabal, right? They're all different fraction of this negative alien alliance that has been controlling and manipulating and dominating this planet for over 26,000 years. So when you are tuning in into their entertainment, when you're tuning in into their entertainment, which you perceive as their entertainment, they are programming, they are mind control weapons that you're allowing to be indoctrinated into your subconscious. And this is where realities are generated. It's in your subconscious, not your conscious mind. It's the subconscious.
Exactly.
This is the power. It's in the subconscious. And these people just let anything go. Music, and they have full of subliminal messages. That is why people hate Trump, even though they don't really know why they hate Trump. Because why? The subliminal messages are there. They watch the news, they watch the program, and then they hate Trump because of the subliminals, the messages.
Yes.
But if you do your research and you think outside the matrix, and you're free thinking, and you don't allow yourself to be mind controlled, you can start to see different perspectives.
Yes.
And you can now choose which perspective do you want to buy into.
Exactly.
So for myself, I don't watch anything. I don't watch anything. I don't listen. So when I do watch, actually, I don't really watch that much. I don't even watch anything on YouTube too.
Okay.
Most of my knowledge comes from galactic channeling, reading books. I go into Intels a lot.
Okay.
Intel, or the other one I'm diving into is Majestic 12. So I like to go directly to the source and get the really good stuff. I don't go into like watching other YouTube's video. That's not my idea of research. I don't do that.
Right.
So yeah.
I listen. Well, this is funny. Like I said, I don't watch mainstream news, and I will watch entertainment that raises my vibration, like a show that makes me laugh, because I know laughter is a high vibration, and love, So, and I do know that television and Hollywood is owned and controlled, just like the news is owned and controlled. But I listen to my frequency. But there was one news show, YouTube news show, that I've been watching for the past 2 months, and that was the High Wire with Del Bigtree, because there has been many doctors that have been coming out and being truthful about this whole COVID-19 thing. So I watch that once a week. Their YouTube channel, with no warning, was taken down yesterday. I was actually watching it. Del Bigtree, and he's been a guest on my show. Del Bigtree had just posted a video yesterday, and I was watching it. And as I'm watching it, it got taken down. Now, here's the thing. I thought, that they just took down that one video. So, okay, so let me go back to his channel. I go back to his channel. The entire YouTube took down the entire channel. And he posted a video today, and he's like, that just proves we're winning. The truth is getting out. And it's like, I did this graphic today where you've heard of it, where a person is trying to close the barn door after the horse has already left. So the truth is the horse that already left. The truth is already out there. And now these censored people are trying this, the powers that be, the deep state, draconian deep state cabal is trying to censor truth. Can't happen. Too many people are awake. The truth is already out there. He's still doing, Dell is still doing his show. Actually, he's doing it live right now. I'm missing it. But I have connections with his technical team so I can get a copy. If you can't see it on YouTube, Facebook Live has not censored him yet. So he's airing today on Facebook Live and on his website. So, and I'm not worried if I'm missing it live. It's airing live right now, but I can connect to his technical team and get a copy of it. But it's crazy. It's like you have to laugh at what they're doing, because when they censor something, more people watch it, because people are saying, what are they trying to hide from me? I want to see it, and they can find it.
Well,
You know?
that's
Yes.
what they did with one of my videos. They yanked it down. It was going viral. It was getting over 100,000 views. And it was when I first connect all the dots and said, this scam virus that is going on is connected with this 5G. Okay.
Yes.
And I made all the dots, all the connection. And I gave the audience the solution, the natural cures, and here's the pharmaceutical cures. Okay.
Yes.
So now you guys can stop panicking, because there are cures out there.
There are cures.
I already gave the people, these are the two solutions. So they yanked down my video, and then I now have to put it on BitChute, and I have it on my website. But
Okay.
it was a video that was getting over 100,000 views in like 3 or 4 days. So it
Yes.
was going very viral.
It was going viral, and they don't like that.
They yanked it down. They yanked
Yes.
it down. And I was light up a lot of people's mind, because I was saying, listen, that coronavirus situation in the cruise ship, guess what they also have installed in there?
Yes. The
Those
5.
the 5G networks.
Yes.
That's why there was a breakout.
Yes. Yes.
Cow.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. No, here's the thing. Here's the truth about that. You know, I don't know, because you're in Brazil. Here in the States, there was a group of doctors just this past Monday that wanted to talk about the cure of the hydroxychloroquine and zinc, which so many doctors that I've seen on Dell's show on the High Wire talk about. They have treated hundreds and hundreds of people and no deaths. I mean, there's a cure. And you know what? This cure has been around for 15 years. They discovered it back in 2005 with the first, the first SARS virus. They discovered how to treat it back in 2005. So this whole thing, they knew how to treat it from day one, you know? And so doctors got together.
what do you think I call it? A scam virus.
Right.
This is
Yes,
why
yes, yes.
This is why I
Yes.
call it a scam virus, to bypass the AI, to let people know you're being scammed, you're being fooled by the mainstream media. They're playing you.
Yes.
You know?
I call it a pandemic, fear pandemic, because it's not a
Call it a
pandemic
scam
because of a virus. It's a fear pandemic. People are so afraid, you know.
I call
So,
it a scam pandemic.
yeah, yes. But this whole group of doctors, now this group of doctors got together in Washington, D.C. just this past Monday. That was banned and pulled down. Even their website is called American Frontline Doctors. They even pulled down their website. You can still see the video on BitChute. But I'm like, are you kidding me? And the more they do that, is the more, see, they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because the more they try to censor, the more people want to see what they're trying to censor. And more people actually watch it because it's censored. So, yes. Yes. Well, one of the I told you I listened to Daniel Scranton daily, but I also listened to Brad Johnson. He channels Adronis, who is a Syrian alien, but Brad described the cabal like this, and I loved it. And I did a graphic like this. As an old man on life support, holding a gun to humanity. So I did a graphic that had pictured an old man in the hospital bed on life support, holding a rifle towards the nurse. And but on the chart that the nurse is holding, it says no bullets. So because COVID-19 is the rifle, but there's no bullets.
Let me ask you a question. Is that Brad Johnson's opinion or is that galactic channeling?
That was no, he was actually, when he was sharing, he was not channeling at that time. So he was sharing his opinion, yes. But I liked it. I said, because they're all they are doing is digging themselves in a deeper hole. Because so many people are awake and so many people see them. And every time they do something, like try to censor people and censor channels, and you know, whenever they do this, they're digging their own hole, you know. So I just smile. I'm like, you know what? You can't stop truth. The truth is already out there. So I just, like I said, I have been on a high for the past 4 months.
What got you interested in wanting me on your show?
Because, well, I saw one of your videos, just one. I forget which one. I just happened to find you, and I checked out one of your videos, and then I emailed you right away, and I was like, hey, come be my guest. Yes. But because we definitely are resonating with the 3D to 5D consciousness, and we are definitely, like I said, it's here right now. I say the matrix is crumbling. It truly is. It's crumbling in front of our eyes. And that's why I've been on a high for 4 months, because I'm watching it crumble. All of the draconian deep state cabal systems are crumbling, and they have to. They have to crumble so we can build anew. So that we are at the beginning. See, and here's the other thing I find, that a lot of spiritual people think it's going to happen overnight. It's not. There's a lot of spiritual people are a little frustrated now because it's not happening quicker. But everything is happening in perfect divine timing, in perfect divine order.
Well, if they think everything is going to happen quicker or things going to happen overnight, then they're not paying attention to just nature, because nothing in nature happens overnight. It's always slowly transitioning because everything has to be supported. You have to build the support the infrastructure. So before a tree can have fruit, you got to have deep, massive roots. That takes time. That takes time for the root to expand and grow, for the trunk to grow, and for the leaves to grow, and before you can actually have the fruit. So
Exactly.
Right now, this is exactly what's happening. The cabal's infrastructure is being dismantled from the inside out. I'm calling out all the things that's being dismantled on my channel, so that way people are aware that the House of Saudi is being taken down. Vatican is gone. The UK monarchy is gone. You know, it's not only the cabal members in the US that is on its last peg. And
Yeah.
the main weapon that they have is just this lying mainstream media that just repeats the same garbage in the mainstream media, so that way they can get as many people mind control as possible, because the more people they can mind control, then they got more Agent Smiths running around policing everybody wearing a freaking mask that doesn't even protect you from a virus. You know,
I don't wear a mask. I've never worn a mask. I wear a badge of freedom. My badge of freedom. I have to wear it when I go out to go into a store. My badge of freedom says, for health reasons, I can't wear a mask, and it's true, because I want to stay healthy. They can't ask me in the U.S. because of the HIPAA law. They can't ask me what my health reason is. But I can tell you, my health reason is I want to stay healthy, and wearing a mask is very unhealthy. So I have never worn a mask.
Well, that's good. That's good.
But but what are the laws like there? Are they there in Brazil? Because I like I said, I have.
Not in Brazil.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. Portugal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just got Brazil and Portugal mixed up because you said Portugal, and my friend that I was telling you about is in Brazil. Sorry.
No, I don't like it here. Is these draconian government, makes it obligatory, and the people here are all asleep, so they just follow blindly like sheep, and they don't have the HIPAA law here, so these people are just sheeples. They just wear the mask, and if you don't wear the mask, they refuse you service in the commercial places. But out in the streets and everything, you're fine. You don't have to wear a mask. It's only in commercial settings they force people to wear a mask. But what I do is just I put it beneath my nose. you know, I just put it beneath my nose. It's for the sheeples. It's just
Yes,
for
for the sheep. Yes,
it's
I
for the
get you.
you know. It's just for the looks. I put it beneath my nose and I walk it on beneath my nose. It's for the
Yes.
sheeples.
And you know what? I see when I go into the store, people have it on to get in, but they're in the store, it's down by their neck. Literally. It's not below their nose. It's so many people, especially young people. I see it down on their neck. Okay. They're not even like it's a big joke. It's a big joke.
No, in America, you don't have to worry about the mask because you have that HIPAA law protecting you. You just need to be aware of it and just have that sign on. If they refuse you, then you can file a lawsuit. You can go have many channels to take care of it appropriately. But in this country, where it's not that level of sophistication in terms of their laws and their regulation, and the people are not so awakened,
Yes.
you don't have that. You just gotta play into their little games and just be a little bit more smart ahead of that.
Yes.
You wear on for dressing, but you put underneath your nose so you can breathe like a normal human being, and let the
Yes.
rest of the people breathe in their own carbon dioxide. So and think that they're actually protecting themselves from a virus. This is what's sad about the situation. What is sad about the situation? It tells you that the collective consciousness does not have the intelligence of a grade 9. Okay? Because you should have learned in grade 9 the size of a bacteria, the size of a cell, and the size of a virus. You should have learned this information in grade 9 biology class. And if you didn't learn the information and you're brainwashed by the mainstream media that you think this piece of cloth can protect you from a virus or bacteria, then you haven't learned anything in school. And especially for those doctors who are making these legislations. Dr. Fauci, how did you get your degree? Really, you should have been revoked. Your license should be revoked because you didn't pass grade 9 biology class. You should need to go back to school and learn things properly. Really.
Yes. No, I agree with you 1,000%. I am very holistic and I'm very health conscious. And I know that wearing a mask is not healthy. You need fresh air and oxygen. It actually lowers your immune system. Many doctors have said this.
Well, I have another perspective. These draconian ETs know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing, okay? They were successful with killing the mass population with their scam virus. So what do? You know what? Let us kill them with their own ignorance. Okay? Let them wear a mask so they cannot get fresh air, so they cannot get prana or chi energy. Deprive them of their vital life force from source, so they can die a slow death by breathing in their own carbon dioxide. They know what they're doing, except that us awake people know the game. I know the game too well. It's only the sleep people that are harming themselves.
Yes, this is very true. And do you know that
it's not for zombies?
Right.
I'm sorry, it's not for zombies.
Exactly. It's not for sleep. It's not for you're not gonna make.
It's not even about sleep. They're zombies. There's nothing going on in there. They have to listen to everything that's on the news, and they actually believe this is the truth.
Yes.
This is a zombie. You need to be told what is the truth, and that means you're a zombie.
Right.
That means you don't know how to do research. You don't know how to critically think, and you cannot connect the dots, and therefore you cannot arrive to your own conclusion. You need to be spoon-fed what is the truth. You need to go to your TV, you need to go to your newspaper, you need to go to these mainstream authority sources to tell you what you think, therefore you want to be programmed.
Exactly.
It's not for that type of mindset.
Exactly.
I let the sheeples wear their mask. I accept that, let it go, and I do my own thing. I wear it for just, you know,
Right, right.
and then because I can't have services because they made this obligatory everywhere.
Right.
So I wear it beneath my nose,
Yes.
whatever.
No. I agree with you 1,000%. I agree with you 100%, 1,000% that yes, that it's the program, and those that are programmed and asleep, they want it. They're asking to be programmed because they don't think for themselves. They're not trying to think for themselves. So because the cabal cannot touch you when you're awake. Like they can't even, we're at a higher vibration. They can't even see us, literally, because it is all about vibration. And you can only see that what you're a vibrational match to. And so those, and I send them love, like, that's why I say those that want to play in the 3D playground, I'm like, I'll send you love, I send you light, I send you healing. But I'm not going back down to the 3D playground and play with you. It's like, you got to come up. I'm inviting you all to come up to where the air is fresh. Yeah, I'm inviting everyone. Yes. No, but it's so true. But I am, like I said, I am on the top of the world. My vibration is higher than it's ever been because I see everything that's going down on in the 3D playground. And I see every time the cabal makes a step, all they're doing is shooting themselves in the foot. It's all they're doing. So it's like, okay, you just censored my only news show. I smile. Like, you just shot yourself in the foot. It's still going to go on. I'm going to still watch it. And now more people are going to watch it, you know? Yeah. So it is really great. So it was, I loved meeting you. I loved having this great awake conversation. Because that's what, right now, I decided for especially the rest, no, I was gonna say the rest of 2020, but no, for the rest of my life on this planet, the only conversations I wanna have are with awakened people. Now, I have nothing but love for those who are asleep. I have nothing but love. But if you wanna have, when I say you, anybody who wants to have a conversation with me, it's gotta be from a place of respect, a place of love.
How do you deal with people who are consider themselves awake, but they're still 1 foot in their religion? How do you consider those?
Oh my goodness, I have a lot of
The
those.
people who are like that, they think they're awake, but then they got 1 foot in religion. I'm like, I think you don't understand what 3D, 4D, 5D is, and in
Yes.
5D there's no religion. So they have
Right,
that.
right.
They
Well,
are awake in, like, let's say, current events and all that stuff, but then when it comes to spirituality, their foot is still in the religion. It's like, and they still believe. I would say that that's like 3D, 4D, because you're in that state. You're not fully 5D, because 5D, there's
right.
no religion, you know?
Exactly. I just asked, I'm glad you asked me that because I just asked the question. I was just at a funeral last week and I ran into a lot of my religious friends. And I had one very close friend until I started my show many years ago. Then we weren't close anymore. But I asked him this and he did not answer me because he's always beating me over the head with the Bible. Okay, so I said to him, yes. So here's what I said. No, here's what I said, and this is great. I would love all Christians to listen to this question and answer this question. I said, okay, I'm gonna give it to you. The Bible is the Word of God. Okay, I'll give that to you. It was written. The Bible is a collection of books that was written over 2,000 years ago in Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic, exactly. Those are the three original languages of the Bible by many different authors. And I'll give it to you. I'll say, let's just say that. I'm not going to argue that point. But so are you saying to me that God can only speak Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic, and he can only talk 2,000 years ago? So he's done talking. He only spoke three languages, and he said everything he needed to say and wanted to say 2,000 years ago. So are you saying that books that are being channeled today, because that's what the Bible is a channeled book. So you're saying a channel collection of books. So are you saying that God cannot speak English or Portuguese? God cannot speak another language and channel today in the 21st century? He did not have an answer for that question. So I pose that question to all Christians that want to beat somebody over the head with the Bible. Okay.
So that's the problem with people with that in those structure. They like to impose their beliefs on others. It's not just the Christian, it's the Muslim, it's the Jews, it's the Scientologists, it's the flat earthers, you know, it's like imposing. I mean, it's one thing to share.
Right.
It's one thing to share, but it's like they use it as an authority and they expect everybody to believe that this is an authority, you know,
Yes.
and this is the only truth. I'm like,
Yes.
no, it's just a perspective.
Yes.
It's your perspective. You can choose to believe in that perspective, but it's not my authority, my perspective. And I can allow you to be who you want to be, but it's not my authority, nor do I choose to believe into that, you know?
Yes. Yes.
So this is the 5D way, is like, is total acceptance of who these people are and what they choose to believe in, and let them be who they want to be. But at a 5D state of consciousness, they can't operate like that. They have to make everybody the same as them. You know,
Exactly.
everybody has to be the same as them. If you're not the same, you're going to hell. You're going to hell. You're going to hell. You know that, right?
I know. I am.
If you don't believe in Jesus Christ, you're going to hell.
Yes. 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 Yes.
You believe that. You really believe that God would say that? Okay, I'll let you.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. See, and that's the other thing about religion. Now, I have respect for all religions, and I always say that on my show. I have respect for all religions. I don't claim to be any religion, but I have respect for them. But I also say that the main thing, my main problem with religion is they take God and they separate God and man. It's all about separation. God is up here looking down at you and judging you. And you're separate from God.
I'm gonna reveal a truth on your channel that I was not really sure if I should reveal this truth on my channel, because I don't know if my audience or whatever is ready for this kind of truth. Because, like I said, a lot of people still have their foot in religion. It's such a strong hold on people's consciousness.
Yes.
And if you say it came from this source and it's not actually God, you're gonna be offending a lot of people. But the truth, it's going to offend a lot of people if your mind is completely programmed.
Exactly.
It's going to be offended. But anyways, the reason why they teach that God and man are separate source is because it comes from the satanic Luciferian force. They invert everything. They invert all teachings. This is why they put it in the Bible. This is why they put in the Torah. This is why they put in the Quran, every single spiritual literature, that you and God are separate. Because the more they can get you to believe that separation, it prevents you from ascending to becoming your 5D person.
So true.
5D is for full consciousness. Full consciousness means you remember your divinity. You remember where you came from. You remember that you and Source are one. Therefore, you have all the powers of Source.
Exactly.
The Bible like to teach you, you are a puny little being. You're not as powerful as God. Don't ever think you're powerful. No, God created all these realities. You just play on it. No, this is the inverted teaching of the satanic force to make the human collective believe that you are insignificant, that you don't have any power, that you have to pray, you have to do. No, you're very powerful. Praying is important.
Right, but you're powerful. You're praying.
But you're powerful. But you need to also pray to communicate to your spiritual teams.
Yes.
You know, your prayers are heard by your spiritual team.
Right.
But you tell any religious person this, that, hey, your script is actually inverted teaching. This is actually the real galactic teaching.
Yeah.
You're going to be like offending a lot of people. They can't handle that.
I know. Well, I share it all the time on my show. I share that God, that we are one with God, and we can never be separate from God. God and I are one. I share it all the time, but I do understand. I agree with you 1,000%. It is, the Bible has been, okay, we know that the original texts were in 3 languages, but it has been edited. And people, and it's like people know this, but they tell me they don't care. That the Bible has been edited, books have been deleted. It's been, passages there. If you dig, there are some truth in the Bible. Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within.
Listen, if these people care about the truth, they
Right,
should care about those details.
right,
If you care about the truth, all those little details matter, because therefore the truth has been distorted.
exactly, exactly.
I bring it to the point. There's no letter J in the Aramaic and Hebrew language. So how the hell do they get the name Jesus?
Right.
They're like, oh, I don't care. It's just, it doesn't matter. I'm like, his name is Yeshua. You know that,
Yes,
right? His name is Yeshua. So according to your scriptures, his name is not even correct. Oh, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
It's just a name. So
right.
you
And
claim you claim it to be the truth, and it's the word of God, but his name is wrong.
right. And they don't care that they
don't care.
know that it's been edited, it's been deleted, it's been rearranged, the Bible has been, and do you know how many versions of Bible there are? Like hundreds. Are you kidding me? Like, come on. It's just, and they don't care. Like you said, they're like,
They don't care.
they don't care. But
that's why I'm sharing this information to your audience, to your channel, because
yes.
I've contemplated if I want to share this information to my audience, because I got my audience is very mixed. We got the Jews, we got the Christians, we got I got Scientologists watching this channel. I've got a very mixed audience. The Christian,
yes.
So if I say this kind of stuff, I say a lot of stuff.
Right.
I say the truth. I say a lot of stuff, but
yes.
certain things like the religion,
yes.
It's just too embedded into their conscious. And if you say something like this, it's too much of a flip.
Right.
It's too much of like a shake for their conscious that they can't comprehend this. Like the whole entire world of reality is just shattered,
Right. I understand. Now, like, let's talk about the 5D, because what will be in 5D will be no religion. Like you said, there'll be no religion in 5D. There's no government in 5D. There's no money. There's no financial system in 5D. There's only unity consciousness is going to be the core of 5D, meaning we know we're all one. We know that we are source in a drop. We know that we are God in a drop. We know that we're creating everything. We will, in 5D, we will be living in a physical body different than this. It's not, see, this physical body is carbon based. Our physical body in 5D will be crystalline based. So our body will be lighter, and we will be living as our higher self in 5D. So that's
the 5D is the spiritual graduation from spiritual immaturity to spiritual maturity being. And a child, which is what a 3D, 4D consciousness is a child.
Yes.
Becoming an adult. So
yes.
this is the difference in spiritual development, and in the way you behave. It comes across in the way you behave, in the way you act, the way you talk. People in 5D, the galactic beings in 5D, they are so peaceful and loving and non-judgmental, and I'm not even that close to that frequency, people.
You're getting there.
No, I'm not even close, man. People on my channel, sometimes there's people who have never watched my program, and they go on my channel and they watch me, and sometimes I've written comments that are like 4D, and they assume that I'm 5D. I'm like, no, you're making an assumption that I'm a 5D person. I don't claim to be a 5D. 5D is on a level that I'm not there yet, Okay. For example, if you're talking to someone who is a lower state of consciousness and they are able to make you lose patience, you're not 5D. If you're talking to somebody and they annoy you and they irritate you, you're not 5D, 5D,
I agree with you 1,000%.
5D galactic beings, they don't have these type of lower vibrations, low energy. They always have so much compassion, so much wisdom,
and
patience, love,
and patience. Yes.
The love they have is unconditional. I come on, we still are conditional loving. We still have conditions we put sometimes, you know.
Right, right.
It's hard to
Well, I
kind
know
of,
what you're saying. I know I've been awake to oneness since 2007, and it was quantum physics. It was science that woke me up to oneness. But ever since I've been awake, since every day, I focus on what you're just saying. I have written thank you letters to people who have hurt me. No, just thanking them. And this is how I thank them. I said, I'm thanking you just for being who you are. Because I know you're only being who I asked you to be. Because this is a dream of my own creation. And every player in the dream, I wrote the script for. There's a great children's book that really brings this home. It's called The Little Soul in the Sun, written by Neil Donald Walsh. It's a children's book that I read to my grandson. But it talks about how when we were in spirit, how we asked certain spirits to be mean to us, to be cruel to us while we were here on earth, because we needed to be reminded. Every bad, quote unquote, bad thing that has happened to us is what was the catalyst for our awakening. What is going on right now? I thank the cabal. The cabal is the catalyst for humanity awakening, and I thank them daily. So I understand they're not separate from me. I think of the yin yang symbol. The yin yang symbol is God. It's equally dark. It's equally white. That's the cabal is our shadow side. It's not separate from me. And so I want to say, and I'm not saying this from a boastful place, but I feel I am 5D right now. And I do, and no matter, even if someone says on Facebook, oh, I wish you died, I'm like, okay, I have nothing but love for you, but that comment is going. I'm deleting your comment, but I have nothing but love for you. And I understand you're asleep, but I understand you are a divine being of God.
if you're able to maintain that frequency all the time and those frequencies, then you're in 5D. You're able to be in that vibration. I know myself. I fluctuate from 5D to 4D. There's time that I get triggered. There's time
Right.
I lose my patience. There's time I get annoyed. So we fluctuate between these emotions throughout the day.
Right.
And whoever we encounter, and if they're able to have this type of effect on you, then that means you have inner work to do.
Exactly.
So I was interacting with someone by email, and he's a flat earther, and he was saying a lot of things that didn't make a lot of sense. And of course, I feel myself losing patience. I feel myself judging. I feel myself, in these lower vibration. And I recognize within myself, okay, I have a lot of growth to do, because if I'm losing patience with this person, if I'm judging and I'm doing all these things, then, I need to work on these areas in my spiritual development, because that means it's still there.
Right.
It's still there.
Yeah, but the triggers are a blessing. The triggers is like, oh, wait a second, I still got more work to do, internal work to do. That's all. Triggers are blessings. And I say this all the time. My son is in spirit. My son is only 29 years old. And when he transitioned, I was at complete peace. So I say this all the time, that everything that happens in our life, we are creating it. And it's our blessing. It's our challenges are our greatest blessings. So this whole COVID-19 pandemic, fear pandemic, is a blessing for humanity. Because humanity, there's no end. We are eternal beings of light. So this is waking up humanity. So it is a blessing.
Well, it's also a blessing. I explained to my alliance that the alliance has used it as an opportunity to do mass arrests.
Yes.
Big
Yes.
time.
Yes.
So I explained that you guys should be celebrating. I know it's kind of like suck that you were stuck inside, but they're being arrested. They're being rounded up. There's things that's happening. There's kids being rescued. There are operations that's happening that you have no idea how much of a blessing this is, that the darkness is being cleansed, is being removed from this planet. And yes, it's actually much more easier for the military to do their work when there's people off the streets.
Yes.
You
So
know,
this is true. Yes.
the military can do their job much more efficiently if there's nobody on the street, there's no cars on the street, and there's no car accidents, there's nothing going on, and they can just do what they came here to do in
Yes.
silence, in peace, and just go in and out and go in and out and get these kids out of these tunnels.
Right. This is very true. There's a lot of good happening right now that people are not aware of. All they're doing is listening to that mainstream news and like, oh, I'm afraid to go out. I got to wear my mask. I saw somebody with 2 masks on. And I saw somebody at the funeral. I saw someone with 2 masks on, and I saw a guy carrying a box of masks to hand out. And I had my badge of freedom. And you don't know how much good that feels because nobody says a word to me. I have my badge. I go where I want to go. Nobody says a word. It feels so good. But we are living in amazing, amazing time. Humanity is waking up slowly but surely, and more quickly than we can even see. I don't see it when I go to the grocery store, because people can do what I do, put on their badge. Like you said, in the US, they can wear their badge and they don't. I'm the only one in the store wearing a badge.
Well, you're quite aware, you're quite awakened, and you know certain laws and you implement them.
Yes.
Knowledge is potential power.
Yes.
It's not power until you actually take action. So
Yes.
knowing that information is helpful, but it's not going to be good to you if you don't actually, put into action.
Exactly. And I also,
if I was living in America, I would be like badging my car up. I would be badging my clothes up, because they do, like, we put these cars at 2 meters social distancing rules too. It's like some countries.
oh, we don't have that here. we don't have to social distance our car.
Really?
Okay. Well, my neighbor asked me to make her a badge, so I made my neighbor a badge. So it's 2 of us wearing badges, and she, it's just we, and it's also the vibration. I walk around. Seriously, I know I'm in 5D because I walk around and nobody says anything to me. I don't get nasty looks. I don't get, nobody, I've seen like on Dell's show where people get harassed for not wearing. I don't. And that's because I'm in this 5D vibration. 3D can't touch you when you're up there. 3D cannot go higher than 3D. So if you're in 4D and in 5D, don't worry about 3D. It can't touch you. It can't.
No, it's true. If you're vibrating, you're in that frequency. Your reality is much more at peace. Things flow. Things flow better. You're more at peace. Everything happens in synchronicity.
Yes.
Like how it should be. You have a lot of positive synchronicity.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yep. This is true. But I'm going to let you go, sweetie. This has been wonderful. This will air what's today? It's Thursday. This will air tomorrow night on my show, and I will send you all the information to share with your listeners. Okay? Thank you so much. This has been great. We'll keep in touch. Love you. Namaste. Bye-bye. Hi. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with Nyla. It's very interesting. I discovered her on YouTube, and she has a great YouTube channel called 3D to 5D Consciousness, and that's what really attracted me to her channel, was the title of her channel. So check her out on YouTube. I like to say I'm back. I have been taking a break the past month of July. I just kind of needed some downtime. Spirit was saying I was kind of working on overdrive starting in March when all of this pandemic started, and I realized, I can tell you the day, it was March 21st, 2020, when I realized we were now at the beginning of the mass awakening. And I got so excited. I've been literally on a high for the past 4 months, and I've been really working a lot from March up until the end of June. So Spirit was telling me early in July to take some downtime, and I was very obedient and took some downtime, spent some time with my grandson, and also spent as much time as I could in nature, meditating, grounding, and centering to Mother Earth, to Gaia. But I have a few announcements coming up for August. I am back. I'm back to work. So you will be seeing new shows every week. And I also have 3 public speaking engagements this August, coming up in August. They will be online, so you can actually watch them live online. I will be speaking at the Unity of Lehigh Valley Sunday, August 2nd at 10 a.m. is their service time, and I will be speaking live from their sanctuary. It is an online service, but I will be there at the sanctuary speaking live. And that again is at Unity of Lehigh Valley. I will have the link to their website below. It is unityoflehighvalley.org is their website. So that is Sunday, August 2nd. And they also asked me to speak Sunday, August 9th. So I will be speaking 2 Sundays in a row live at Unity of Lehigh Valley here in Pennsylvania. I'm very excited about that opportunity. I also will be speaking live at the IONS online conference this year. I did attend their conference last year, which was here in Pennsylvania. It's about 2 hours. It was right outside of Philadelphia. And so it was a last minute thing where I was invited to come and be press for the IONS conference last September and August, September. It was like Labor Day weekend. This year it is going to be, it's a virtual conference. It is August 14th through the 16th. So it's a 3-day live conference, and I will be speaking on that Saturday, August 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I will be on a panel. The title of the panel is Journey to Healing. So I will be on a panel at 3 p.m. August 15th at the IONS online virtual conference, and their website is virtualconference.ions.org. Again, the link to that conference will be below. So you have an opportunity to actually see me do 3 live public speaking engagements, because all 3 speaking engagements are virtual and online, and the links will be below. Also, I invite you to go to my website. I offer a free mentoring session for anyone interested in having a mentoring session with me. Just go to my website, awaketoonenessradio.org, and send me an email and let me know that you're interested in a free mentoring session. Also on my website, you can find a page of free online events. These online events are hosted by the Shift Network, but they're free online events. There are a list about 10. They're holistic healing, holistic health events. I'm completely holistic, and so I like to support holistic events. So check them out. There might be something you're interested in, and you can sign up for free. Also, I will be back, since I'm back, I'll be back to hosting a monthly Zoom meeting this coming month of August. It will be Thursday, August 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, if you're interested in joining that Zoom meeting, group Zoom meeting, just go to my website, let me know you're interested, and I will send you the link, the Zoom link for that meeting. So I'm really happy to be back. Again, everything I do is for free. Awake to Oneness Radio is completely nonprofit. This is a passion, this is a calling, it's something, and now that we are in the midst of humanity's awakening, it's what I'm here to do. So Everything I do for free. I offer for free. So I do accept donations if anyone's interested in helping to support Awake to Oneness Radio and the mission of really, the bottom line is world peace and coming together as one because we are one. So thank you again for watching. Love you all. Namaste. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.